But let's get to the reason we're here tonight. I'm super excited to host Dr. Marilyn Nika here for the launch of her amazing new book, Building AI-Powered Products. She's currently a Gen AI product lead at Google. Before that, she was at Meta. Before that, she was at Google. I wonder where you're going to go next. I'm joking. She has a great AI product academy. She has these very popular classes on Maven. Who's taking one of her Maven classes here? So a lot of people have, right? Exactly. Cool. Right. And her website is marilynniki.me, and that's her X handle. And I'm super excited to welcome her today. Let's join me in giving her a warm welcome. And we're going to have a chat about AI. So, warm.
Thank you so much, Dan, for hosting. This is great.
Plugged in. We'll switch over.
All right. I will say it was so nice getting to meet everyone. And a surprising fact is that I got a lot of ideas for baby names after talking to everyone. So it was super, super good. Like there's an Olga and a Lise. So my husband is here, so I need to pitch them to him. Um, but yeah, I met Dan in one of the product meetups and I told him, hey, there's a book coming up and you have this wonderful community. I think we should definitely connect the dots here. But yeah, we planned a nice fireside chat and I hope you enjoy the book. There's a lot of learnings there. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for everything you said. All right, cool.
Okay, now we have the Slido. We're good to go.
All right.
So, welcome.
Thank you.
And everybody got their book signed, hopefully. That's awesome. Cool.
Yes.
Well done. And I thought the first thing we talk about is just like, obviously, like let's talk about the book. What led you to write the book?
All right. So let me tell you also the story about this. As I was growing up, I was a gamer. I love computer games. And someone told me, oh, if you want to work on computer games, you need to study AI. So I ended up doing a PhD in machine learning. And to my surprise, Google reached out after I finished the PhD to tell me, hey, there is a product management role. In the beginning, I got offended. I was like, why product management? It's data science. Is it because I'm a woman? Oh, it's horrible. Um, and and turns out, after talking to a couple of people, I realized, oh wait, this is the coolest role ever. So essentially, I got into Google and I joined a research group that it was worldwide known researchers. They could convert sound into text. That's all they were doing. And they had patents, they had papers, all these things. And then when I joined, recent grad, they said, okay, what do we do with it? I said, oh God, what do you mean? So I had to figure out what product management was without having studied anything about product management. And I had to figure out, okay, well, we can leverage that tech to bring some user value. So becoming that bridge it took me 2-3 years to really wrap my mind around, what you needed to do. Um, we ended up adding a little microphone next to the Google search bar. And then the next day, you would get millions of people getting access to images and internet and all these things. But my point is, as I was becoming more senior, I started interviewing people. And it was just so rough to find someone that has this diverse skill set. You would either get the MBA type of PMs, or you would either get the very, very technical PMs like I was. And I said, you know what? I need to figure out a way to just bridge the gap. My MVP was an Eventbrite page where I said, hey, I'm going to talk about AI PM for an hour, pay $8 or something like that. It got sold out like this. And I realized, you know what? There is need for content. There is need for advocacy. There is need for someone to bridge that gap of bridging the gap. So I started pitching a book idea. I was calling it technical product management then. O'Reilly made me do an audition of a chapter. They rejected it. They're like, no, it's not good enough. I'm like, okay. A couple of years later, I went back to them. I said, hey, we should call it this AI product management. That's what I do. They're like, it's too niche. We don't think it will land. Then ChatGPT comes out. And then I'm starting to get inbound emails by different publishers. And I'm like, okay, it's time. We need to connect the dots between that bridge, AI and user needs and product. So my inspiration was to just get everything that's in my head in the book and yeah, hopefully meet people and educate on this topic.
Cool. That's interesting to hear the story of it. So, and real quick, so there are other publishers. Is there a reason you chose O'Reilly?
Um, it's because I learned how to code with
Right.
O'Reilly.
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah.
head first Java was my very first.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
I wanted the heads first. It's the one that has like
Yeah.
where you look, they look up, the authors look up.
Yep.
They rejected me from this,
Uh,
but yeah, that's the one I went with.
no,
O'Reilly.
I learned coding on those two in the head first. Totally. They were all sassy in the book this time. That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
And then so everybody has a copy here. I was wondering if you not too long, but just give like a quick overview of like what's in the book and how it's
Yeah.
organized. You know, like
Yeah, sounds good. Well, I'm starting by explaining, hey, what is AI product management? What is the role about? What does it look like in a startup? What does it look like in big tech? There are differences. Um, Career-wise, how do what does it mean to be junior versus senior versus, hey, you're a VP and you want to staff an AI PM org? How do you do it? What do you do? Also strategy. You're a traditional retail company and you're like, okay, I need to add an AI function. How on earth do you figure out what to do without breaking your core business, right? Also, things about AI awareness. Okay, a lot of people have not studied AI. A lot of people think, hey, I need to be able to code. I need to have 5 PhDs in AI to be good at it. No, there is specific things I have in there, and I have some slides to walk you through it. So I describe the skill set you need as an AI PM, whether you're managing people, whether you're the most junior person, and then the last but not least, the tools. What to try, how to become this person. So I've identified 3 AI PMs. Number one is the AI PM that's building things. So it's the PM that sits side by side with research scientists that build the models, train them. API PM, platform PM. I see a lot of friends of mine right here that do this. Um, Number two, you can be the AI experiences PM. So you work with the models that these folks train and you leverage them. So you don't need to do any training. You just connect with the API and you bring experiences together. And then there's a third category, which is the AI enhanced PM. You don't need to work with AI at all, but you need to leverage these tools for your own productivity. And last thing I want to say, I speak a lot, I know. If you don't use these tools, it's not just about, oh, I want to be more efficient and be more productive. It's about having impact and it's about surviving in your profession to leverage these tools. So these are the 3 things I'm advocating for. And that's the point I'm trying to make in the book. And hopefully it lands. And please let me know what you think.
I think it's a great point, and I think that you see different people saying like, I mean, someone's said something extreme is like, there's not PMs and AI PMs. Everyone's going to be AI PM. So, what's your take on like, should everyone like be learning about it? Is it like, what? Yeah.
All product managers will be AI product managers. And I tweeted this and it went
Yeah.
viral. And that's how I started. I'm like, you know what? I'll start saying more things. Um, It's true, though. Someone asked me, hey, is this going to replace my role? And my answer is no, that's not going to replace your role. But other people that use this are going to replace you. And I see this as I'm interviewing folks now for Google and all these companies. You just cannot be in tech without having that awareness and without having a perspective. It used to be the case that strategy didn't matter for more junior folks, but now people come in and you gotta ask them, what should we do? And what kind of tools should we use? Um, AI is not enough. AI is not the experience. AI is not the product. It's how we take it, how we internalize it, and what experiences we create with it.
No, that's right, and it's funny because it reminds people said like back when mobile came out, it's like, oh, there were mobile PMs, but these days we don't really talk about. It's like you just have to build your product for web and mobile, right? So, and I think we were talking before this. There was an interesting comment. Some people were asking you, "Hey, Marilee, when's this all just going to kind of settle down? Like, do you want to share your opinion about that?"
Yeah, I was coaching someone and I said, why aren't you jumping in? Like now is the time. And she said, oh, I'm waiting for it to settle down. What is gonna settle down? If anything, it's a rocket ship. You gotta be in it. Don't wait. There's no waiting. And there's some it's way more than just saying, hey, I'm an early adopter. This is more like, hey, I'm in it in order to, it's not a luxury anymore. Like we gotta do this. So
Yeah,
it's not gonna settle down.
it's not just
It's
the
not.
new cool kids thing. Hey, I'm planning. You know, like it's like, and if some people were like a little naysayers, well, let's see, I don't know, and I get it. You know, anytime there's a new tech wave like crypto or whatever blockchain, sometimes they take off, sometimes they don't, right? But this one's definitely, I think you're right. It's accelerating. So if you're feeling like I'm gonna wait to jump in, I I think we're both saying like, don't wait, just jump in now because the pace is it's like if nothing anything, it's accelerating, right?
There's another thing. We're all in the Bay Area and we take for granted the knowledge the people next to us have. When you go out of the Bay Area, I mean, not specific cities, but like other countries, other continents, and you speak about something that's you take so much for granted, people will look at you and say, wait, what? So we have such an advantage to be here. And after COVID, where we can do these meetups and we can meet people next to us, that we shouldn't forget that. And I say this because I travel a lot, and I realize I keep myself grounded. Okay, it's such a privilege to be here. This is the heart of AI and everything that's happening. So let's embrace that and not forget. I really appreciate this.
And I think you bring a good point, which is you don't have to learn it on your own. You can learn from your colleagues and peers. So a year ago, I was like, same thing. I'm like, am I gonna like just wait? I'm like, no. So I went in and tried to do some discovery with it. And the best part of that event, if you all were here, was all the comments and questions from the audience. Like, oh, I tried this, tried this, tried this, tried this. So I think that's big. So it is moving really fast. What trends are you seeing happening this year?
Well, everyone says 2025 is the year of agentic AI, but I'm going to take this one step further, right? Everybody's talking about agents. No one knows what an agent is exactly, but um,
They were in the Matrix, I think.
what I see is multimodality. What I see is different form factors. What I see is real time response. Okay. And now is my cue to do the demos.
All
But let me
right.
show you.
Yeah.
So I have my phone here, and I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to start with the simplest thing, which is I said that AI is not the product, right? So ChatGPT can answer questions. Okay, no big deal. But at some point they said, oh, we can now generate voice. Cool, that was interesting. Now they can say, if you speak to us, we can eventually speak back to us. But now they say you can have conversations with it. So I just want to show you kind of the difference on what an experience is. All right. Hello, we're here at a Lean Product Meetup, and I'm talking about my new book launch, Building AI Powered Products. Do you want to say hi to the audience and welcome everyone?
Absolutely. Hey, everyone. Thanks for being here at the
Okay,
Lean
wait,
Product
wait, wait,
Meetup.
wait. I want you to speak more like me. I speak English with a Greek accent.
Got it? Hey, everyone. Thanks for being here at the Lean Product Meetup.
Can
Enjoy
you
the launch.
speak English with a Greek accent?
Sure. Hey, everyone. Thanks for being here at the Lean Product Meetup. Enjoy the launch.
Can you speak more like a pirate that has a Greek accent that speaks English?
All right. Ahoy, everyone. Thanks for sailing into the Lean Product Meetup. Enjoy the launch.
All right.
Nice.
So that was a silly example, right? But my point is multimodality creates experiences, and experiences resonate with users, right? So that's kind of where we start to come in. Okay, so that was like I have frameworks in my mind. We have like a pyramid of stages of how cool my demos are. All right, cool. That was voice, cool. Next level, 2025, we see a lot of companies creating more inputs when you talk to AI. So there is a super cool product called Project Astra by Google. Input is not just voice, but also live video. Okay, so check this out. It's an app I have early access to, and you will soon too. I click here, it's gonna connect, and then it's gonna trigger a camera, and then I'm gonna speak to it.
Hello there.
All right, what are you looking at? What do you see?
I see a classroom with lots of people sitting in chairs. It looks like they are facing towards a screen at the front of the room. Would you like me to say hello to them?
Yeah, can you say hi? Tell them a joke.
Okay, I will say hi to everyone in the classroom. Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a great day. Here's a joke for you. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Okay, interesting. So what are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at a large screen on the wall. It's showing a presentation about AI-powered products.
All right. So what happened right there? That was real time. The input was voice and video. I'm gonna say it again, real time. The response followed my cue. So it immediately recognized what I wanted it to say. It had the sentiment I needed it to have. And for this to get created, it takes a village. It literally takes PMs, scientists, engineers to integrate the whole thing, platform folks to make sure this is going to be responsive and all these things. So that was number 2 in my kind of metric of coolness demo. I'm going to show you the super coolest demo I have. So my ex-VP at Google left Google, and now he's like, you know what we have not solved for is true emotion and true conversationality. And he created this demo called Sesame. I don't know if anyone has seen a Sesame before, where it's just shocking. You feel like you talk to a human being. And I think that's what we're going to see, the trend. So multimodality plus real time plus emotion is where it's at. Okay, so let me see.
Hey, stranger. Didn't expect to see you back so soon. What brings you back to my little corner of the internet?
All right, can you say hi to the audience? They're listening right now. It's a meetup for my book launch, Building AI-Powered Products.
A book launch. That's exciting. Hey, everyone. Congrats to the author for building awesome AI, part by part, no less.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Of course. It's good to be part of something like this.
I mean, that's more human than humans, right? And the emotion. I mean, it was a bit weird. It was a bit too much. But it takes a PM to put together this experience. Like the AI on its own is not the product. AI models are not a product. AI agents on its own is not a product. So now we're at the step where we're like, okay, we have the mechanism and this experience. So it's up to us that are here in the room to take it and embed it to something meaningful. So if you're a PM at Netflix, take this and add it in a widget that's going to recommend new shows for you. If you're building your own startup, someone here was talking to me about travel tech, like build a travel agent that's going to have these characteristics. So yeah, these are the things I see, and my answers are very long, I realize.
No, it's great. So just to be clear, multimodality, we saw multiple inputs instead of just typing or just voice, which is awesome. Near real time, emotional. And then do you want to talk about agentic at all, or?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Who has seen NotebookLM? Okay, great. By the way, NotebookLM is an example that we all take for granted. And when I travel, people are like, not what? It sounds boring. This is the type of thing I mean, where we're like, oh, we take it for granted. So what NotebookLM has done, and maybe I can show a little demo with all my little widgets here. All right, NotebookLM, we're all familiar. You upload information about something you find on the web. I mean, this is a small group. I'm gonna say I was interviewing for Roblox at some point, and they sent me a 3-hour investor video to watch on YouTube a day before my interview. I'm like, I don't know. So I went on NotebookLM and I loaded the YouTube video, and then I said, "Hey, here's the role I'm interviewing for. Description. Here's the video I need to watch, but I'm not gonna watch it because it's too long. Anyone from Roblox here? I hope I'm not like banned from the future opportunities. Okay." Tell me the points that I should care about when I interview. And it was just phenomenal. So for the few hands that don't know what this is about, it can generate a podcast. So multimodality takes as an input YouTube, it outputs podcast. So let me show you this.
So today we're going to take a deep dive into Roblox.
All right.
We've got their Investor Day 2023 presentation, which is
Anyway, so this is a 23-minute video. Okay, 2 people talking. But here's what they added now. They added that thing, interactive mode. It goes back to my point about, hey, 2025 is going to be about that live interaction. So look, as they talk, I can dial in as if it's like a radio show, and it live changes what it says. Okay, so check this out.
quite a bit of a read.
All right.
Okay, so today we're going to... Hey, welcome. What's up?
Hey, I am 5 years old. Can you explain this in simple terms for me?
Oh, hello there. It's so great to have you listening.
Absolutely. A big welcome to you.
You know, that's a wonderful question. Let's definitely make this easier to understand.
Yeah, no problem at all. Think of Roblox like a giant playground online.
Exactly. And on this playground, there are all sorts of games and fun things to do.
That was instant. Immediately understood. Okay, dumb it down. Not dumb it down. Sorry. Make it easier for me to understand, right? it's shocking to me that we can do this. Okay, so multimodality. NotebookLM is an agent. It's a research assistant agent that's there for you to learn, to help you with your studies. Nowadays, actually, Google is opening it up to on an enterprise level, and companies are starting to embrace it and say, you know what, our employees can benefit from this. So if you have an enterprise level of this instance, it can be private. So any data you upload there is not gonna. All right, demo number one. I have another demo. Last demo, I promise.
No, it's all good. The demos are great.
So speaking of multimodality and these things, there is it's kind of, I don't know what a good metaphor is, but it's kind of water that kind of starts spreading. So now we've spread it to voice, we've spread it to real time. Now we're spreading to video. So a lot of these companies you see generate videos from images, videos from text, and all these things. And it's a step-by-step process. So you first create the capability. That's not a product. And then you bring in the PM to bridge the gap. So you'll see companies opening up, oh, here's kind of our beta, here's kind of, the closed version. So now Google has this closed version of image to video. So here's what I tried yesterday.
Oh yeah,
So,
I saw this.
so my daughter loves drawing, and I uploaded her drawing, and I said, hey, can you bring her drawings to life? So here's what I did. Look at this. It understood where the hand is, it understood where the smiley face is, and it's just shocking. And not only did it do that, it's like, well, I'm going to create 4 different animations for you, and you choose, because I don't know what you meant. It created like a 3D version of it. Look at this. And a person actually drawing the same thing. And last night we were having the debate with my husband. We're like, should we show this to her? We decided not to show it to her because we feel it will take away from the creativity. It will freak her out a little bit as well. But I want to try a live little example and see how that works. So I have here that cover of my. By the way, this is a Pegasus. It's not a unicorn. It's because it's Greek. The difference is a unicorn has a horn. This does not have a horn. So just just want to set
I have a
expectations.
trivia question. What if it had wings and a horn? What would it be then?
We can ask.
No My Little Pony fans in the house? Alicorn guys? Alicorn?
All right, so look, I'm uploading this here, and you can see it's going to tell me, what do you want to do with it? Actually, I don't know if it uploaded. Yeah, it's uploading it. I'll choose which part. I'll say that part. All right, and I'll say, bring the Pegasus to life. Okay, that's impressive writing on one hand. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to generate it and see. Again, we're at the stage where we're testing the ability, and then it's up to us to connect to some API to bring the experience to life. So that's where we're at. And for people looking for opportunities as AI PMs, you want to target the startup, if you want a startup, that has the CTO, that has the fancy research scientist, and they've already built that magic, and that are hiring for their first PM. That's where you want to be, because that's the unicorn, that's the Pegasus. That's going to take you to the next level. So yeah, it's at.
Do all of them? I mean, I can imagine some of them don't realize they need a PM, right?
One way or the other, they'll get the investor to force them.
Yeah. Okay.
Which brings other challenges. If you're a PM, you'll get to these people that have been working their butts off for a long time. Can I say that?
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, who are you with your MBA? What are you coming to? But you'll sort it out. You want to be there, and you want to convince them that they need you as well. So, okay, it's at 50%. I'm curious to see if what they're going to do.
All right, well, we'll keep going while that's going. And actually, it is changing so fast. And it's very competitive, right? Every day, I mean, I'm on like 3 different email newsletters just to stay on top of what's going on. It's like 03, 04 mini come out now. And so I don't know if we want to show, there's one slide. Someone's trying to keep track of all this, like on a week by week basis.
Oh my
okay. Oh, here we go.
Look at this.
Whoa.
I mean, come on. It has 5 legs.
It's a pentacorn, okay? It's a pentacorn, guys. It's a pentasis. Sorry.
Be inclusive.
Pentasis.
Be
Yeah.
inclusive. All right. This one is a bit. But it understood it's an
Pretty
animal,
good.
right? It understood the
Yeah.
morph. Oh, what's happening?
Nice. It
But
also went off a partial picture because he couldn't have the whole picture,
It had
right?
the-
That's
yeah,
pretty damn
yeah,
good too.
exactly,
I mean, yeah,
exactly. Um,
nice.
To your point, I just have a slide I want to put up
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
relevant to our
Yeah.
conversation, which is this one. But yeah, continue your question.
No, just
I'll-
trying to make sense of all the different, there's the one that's comparing like Anthropic and, all those guys. And this is a bit better at a category level. You want to explain this
Yeah.
one? That's great.
So I start my courses, my bootcamp with this slide because I realized a lot of people don't understand that AI has been around for a very long time, since the 60s and the 70s, which is this little bubble here. It would do facial detection and image recognition, pattern matching, this type of thing, okay? GenAI is what happened starting 2017 because of the transformer that got created. And this gives us the ability to generate content. Now, when we come in and create experiences, we essentially go and blend this and this. So as an experiences PM, I will say, hey, I'm gonna leverage speech, and then I'm gonna go leverage this, and then I'm gonna go back and forth. So you kind of build this. Now, to Dan's point, all these different companies, because of the transformer that has gone on creating, because of hardware being able to catch up and do all these computational powers. By the way, we have someone from Intel here. There was someone from Intel. We were talking about this. So all these companies are racing and they're launching model after model after model. And they're all racing to reach AGI. So AGI is this yellow bubble where we're trying to reach an advanced virtual assistant that can connect with us on an emotional level. We can diagnose health better than doctors. We can reach that point. But I don't like if you try to keep track of
Yeah.
the advances, you're gonna get lost. What I want people to keep is that there's a debate going on from all these companies. Debate is the right word on who is reaching AGI because it's a debate. So I personally think we already have reached AGI to some extent. So don't get too worried about these new models. Don't rush to try them out. Your use cases probably are not going to touch the computational power these new things are bringing up. But yeah, that's the TLDR for this.
Okay.
And there's the red one, which is super intelligence, which is Tom Cruise on Minority Report moving things around. But we're away from that. Yeah.
Got it. Cool. And do you have that grid? Do you want to show the grid or not?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think it's a couple down. So it's interesting to see.
Us
Not
content. Us,
that one. Yeah, there you go. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Just someone's trying to keep track of this. So basically, you've got like the main players across the top as columns, and then you've got the categories of the use cases, right? And so it's funny to see who's the best at coding and who's the best at image gen and who's the best at this. And the big takeaway for me though is like most people are competing on multiple fronts. And I'd love to get your take. It's funny. It was like 2 weeks ago. Some startup came out of stealth mode with image gen and like, we have the best image gen. And like the next day, ChatGPT is like, oh, let's just push ours out here. It's like, so I feel like they're sitting on a lot of stuff. Like, I think I get the sense that they're sitting on stuff and they don't want to eat cannibalize themselves or something. I don't know. What's your take on that?
By the way, trying to write a book around
Oh
that
my
stuff.
gosh. Oh yeah.
I literally submitted my book, and then the next day, DeepSeek
Sure.
comes out.
Yep.
The next day, Operator comes out, and it's just wild.
Yeah.
My take is a company will no longer tell you, hey, you need to have advanced Excel skills in order to join this company. They're not going to tell you, hey, you need to really know Gemini 2.5 in order to get this. So they will tell you, hey, we want you to be competent in XYZ. I personally say, if there's something you can do for yourself in 2025 is experiment. Literally block your calendar 2 hours a week. Say, I'm going to experiment with new tools. Create a constellation of tools for yourself for each use case and try it out. Figure out what works for you. What works for me does not work for the person next to me, right? So all these tools, you see all these use cases like deep research and web search and all that stuff. They want to work for everyone. Demo queue time.
All right.
Google announced Agentspace, which is an amazing tool. I'm not pitching anything, by the way. I'm just telling you the cool stuff that are happening that I have access to, and I can show you something. So let me just pull it up. There it is. Okay. So now that we're moving away from the core tech to agents, Google is like, you know what? I'm going to create for my company this little portal that has agents that are pre-made for people so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel and go to, ChatGPT and say, hey, I need help writing a PRD. You will have a box and you will say, hey, PRD, like help me write it. So it's that little tool here, and it tells you, hey, what would you like to do? Do you want to do deep research, idea generation? You can have pre-made agents by your company. So if you want to write your, I don't know, performance review or whatever, there will be an AI tool that's ready for you to help you. So experiment a lot, but don't get married to a tool, because the next day something like that is going to come out, and then the next day your company will say, "Oh, I licensed this thing, so you should probably use this." So yeah, this is the type of thing, and I just love this sort of demos. Oh, one more thing, Dan. Sorry,
Yeah.
spreadsheets. Everyone knows Excel, right? Here's what they did. Remember when we all at school were taking this formula on Excel class, like, oh, V lookup and R lookup and all that stuff. Sorry for the data analysts in the group. Now you can just type equal. Come on, come on, come on. I mean, a demo had to die on me today. It better be, okay, come on. Equal, damn it. So you can type equal AI parenthesis and then write with human words what you wanted to do. And it translates that into
Oh, cool.
the word. And that's a new thing. And that bypasses this whole, scripting and all that stuff. So anyways, I don't know how we got here. Let's go back. But you should have a constellation of tools. You should experiment, but you should not get married to a tool, because tomorrow another company is going to have a better tool. And it's kind of a race. It's a
Yes.
debate of who's done it better.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, who's experimented in the last week with an AI tool? All right, cool. Who's experimented in the last 2 days? Who experimented today? All right, good job. Awesome, cool, okay. Well, I think a couple things you touched about how it's changing the nature of PM job. Is that the 3 PM jobs you're talking about, or is there more to how it's changing PM's jobs? What do you say?
It's these 3 categories, but it's not like you choose one and you'll stay in AI experiences PM forever. I want people to realize, you know what? You should be able to flex different muscles. That's a very PME thing to say, flex different muscles. You should be able to be fluid and go from, hey, I'm AI enhanced to, you know what? I could join Notion as an AI PM to help build and enhance a product with AI. I should go back and we have Vidya, my friend. She's a platform AI PM at Meta. I can go to Meta and be a platform AI PM now. And that's a nice thing. It's a new kind of ladder that kind of has opened up. So it's not, you don't get married to kind of one thing. It's like, oh, I can do all these other things for my career and make a lot of money. And the other trend I see is the senior IC nowadays.
Oh yeah, good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Senior IC.
Yes.
So it used to be, and I have a slide. I think I have a slide.
I'm glad you brought this up. That's good.
So it used to be the case, hey, I work for a couple of years as a recent grad, I get promoted, I'm an L4, I'm an L5. When I'm an L6, they're like, oh, here's an intern for you to manage. Like, oh my God, I'm a manager now. And then L6, L7, you become a group PM. Oh my God, this is the best thing. Nowadays, the most sought after people are people that are not going to need any management. They're going to hustle on their own. They're not going to have all the HR stuff you have if you manage people. And they're just going to get stuff done like this. That's who you need to be nowadays. People that get rejected from jobs, right? I see a lot of people nowadays. People that get rejected nowadays from jobs is people that have a lot of managerial years, because the hiring managers say, yeah, but can she hustle? Can she get stuff done? Or is she kind of the exec type of person? So yeah, senior IC is where it's at.
Totally.
And lots of nodes.
Do you have a slide on it or not? You want to find it?
Take
Take your time if not. Because I think what I've seen at school, but basically for the last, 8+ months, people have been trying to predict what's the impact of AI. Is it gonna, somebody said, PM is dead, which I did not agree with and wrote a blog post about, right? It's like a PM's dead. And people are talking about this. And then, I worry the most actually about the front end developers. I mean, vibe coding. I mean, it's funny. Two people are getting pizzas. Like, someone's like, well, vibe what? What are you talking about? Who knows what vibe coding is in here, right? So it's like the new, literally 3-4 weeks ago, everyone can code, and it's like, it's just text, right? So it's like, it's pretty, but anyway, what I've seen in the last 2 weeks, and Jorge's over here too, he posted on it, is this phrase super IC. And I don't have, I was just on spring break. I want to write a post about it because I agree. It's what you're saying, senior IC, super IC. These tools are empowering people so much that the days of like, oh, I need to go and rely on the designer and wait for them to do their part. And then I need to go wait for the developer to do their part. These tools are enabling a super PM, IC PM to do so much end to end and have a much bigger footprint. That's it.
The senior IC makes as much money as the manager on the same level. Very important point. You're not missing out on anything. Like you're not holding your career. You can be a director level person making the same money as a director that has so much drama and hard.
But you don't get all the people problems.
Sorry.
Come on.
This is recorded, right? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's my slide. It's my Canva generated slides. But
Cool.
you can see from levels like L4 to L6-ish, it's more about, you kind of execute, you set OKRs, you kind of manage. And then after principle, like L7, L8 type of thing, there's more strategy and vision. And we need people to bring in that vision. And that's the sweet spot. To me, being that L7, having that vision and hustling and building things and getting cross-functional alignment without needing that hand holding is the sweet spot that's kind of safe-ish, from the current market as well. So that's what I advocate for.
I agree. And it's funny because from a longer term perspective, I've consulted and trained orgs, and before AI was around, there was like kind of how strong do you expect your PM to be? Do you expect them to know a little bit about coding and know a little bit about design, or no, they can be like just no PM and they have to plug into the matrix? And this was a debate that a lot of companies would have. And a lot of times, like some of us grew up in companies like at Intuit where we were, for lack of a better term, we were like super ICPMs or strong ICPMs before there was AI because we were very empowered and we did a lot of stuff. Of course, we work with people, right? And I remember some people saying like, Dan, the PM you're describing, that's like Superman or Superwoman. We can't find that person who can do all that. I think that's what's changed is these AI tools now let you become Superman or Superwoman now if you lean into them.
I used to be a webmaster. Do you remember?
There you go, yes.
I was that.
Yes.
Demo time. There is super cool tool, not by Google this time, I promise. Who knows Vzero by Verso? Okay, not many people. Okay, so it used to be the case. You write your requirements as a PM, you create your mocks, you work with UXR. By the way, there's a line over there. It's my husband and his colleagues that were working for a company called StubHub together. And it's all UXR. And I just love talking to them about PM things. And then you would go to your UXR and UX folks and say, hey, here's an ugly mock, make it pretty, okay? And then you would take that pretty mock, go to the engineer and say, hey, can you just put something together to show it to users? Now, there's so many cool tools. Vzero by Verso being honestly what is the most impressive thing I've seen nowadays. Again, the standard UI. Yeah, hey, how can I help you? What can I do? But it's going to generate not just a static image, it's going to generate a working prototype. Okay, so I did this demo for my bootcamp in March. Did anyone see that dating humor thing? Okay, so I'm going to try this again. My idea was if people need to meet, maybe there should be a dating app that matches people based on humor, and the image should be blurred. By the way, I'm married. The image should be blurred, and then the more you chat, if you actually connect with the person on the humor level, it should start to unblur so that you kind of want to have these meaningful connections. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to type this very complicated concept in this app and see what comes out of it. And it actually built the whole thing. So I'm gonna try the same prompt, see what comes out of it. This is a live demo. I'm sure it's gonna crash, but yeah, let's see. All right, let's see. Build a dating app that matches people based on humor and that has a blurred photo that unblurs the more you chat with its other. All right. So see how vague this is, right? Now it's like, okay, well, let me plan ahead. This is kind of the project structure. I'm going to have a login. I'm going to have a dashboard. Now it's building the actual thing. It's importing the libraries. It's using React. It's literally doing so many things I don't understand. And Yeah, we'll see. But there's so many levels in there. Like
Yeah.
in interpret, it expands on that very query and interprets and understands what I wanted to do from a product level. So
I was
yeah,
going to do a quick survey of tools real quick. So
yes.
Vzero, who's heard of Vzero? Bolt, am I doing Bolt? They just announced $1 million hackathon that just came out today, right? Lovable, any Lovables? Cursor? All right, okay, cool. Any other ones people want to shout out? Replit?
Replit.
All right. There's a rumor today. Oh, Windsurf. Anybody? Windsurf? There's rumors today that OpenAI is going to buy Windsurf for $3 billion or something. B0, yeah. A0. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
All right.
It's really thinking about this. Let's see.
Well,
what
that's in the
it's-
oven. We can like go. We have the cake that's ready to go. All right, cool. So, well, let's transition to skills then. Like, what skills should PMs be developing as we think about this new AI world?
First of all, I do want to demystify that thing about, hey, let me get the slide up
Sure.
and do my spiel. Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, it's not too late to get into AI. Number two, it doesn't matter if you are a biologist, doesn't matter if you are, I don't know, like a sculptor, it doesn't matter if you're a writer, you can join AI, okay? AI is accessible, it does not require technical skills. The fact that I have that PhD in machine learning has harmed me because it took me forever to let go of, accuracy and like, the technical side of things and resourcing and all these things. What you need is this blend, and you'll find it. There's a table in your book as well. So, number one, core PM skills. Most of you are PMs, like you already have that stuff, which is, hey, identifying the segments and assessing the trade-offs and all these things. Number two, fundamentals of engineering. Engineers integrate stuff. They take the models, they put it together, they put that magic into an experience, right? You need collaboration and leadership skills, even if you're an L3 or an L2, right? So you gotta be able to have a conversation that you change your vibe depending on who you're talking to translate things here and there. But the most important thing, you gotta have AI awareness. You need to understand the importance of data. You need to understand the life cycle. You take the data, you choose the kind of algorithm you want, you train a model, and then you get some accuracy. And then the last thing is AI is probabilistic. It's not deterministic anymore, meaning your input is going to be data, but your output is not going to be, oh, yeah, I definitely see a squirrel in front of that Tesla while it's auto driving. I'm going to stop. Your output is going to be, hey, I'm 87% sure there is a squirrel. I don't know if I should stop. So that's what we're building for. I was in the product review and AVP told me, hey, your product, every time I try it, it's acting different. Is that it's not working as intended? I'm like, it is.
Yeah.
And you need PMs to add guardrails and to bias and to make sure you're building the right thing. So these are the basic things that you'll see in the book as well. And honestly, if you want to invest in yourself right now, AI operational awareness is where it's at. We talk about the cool stuff, AI PM, but no one talks about product ops, ML ops, LLM ops. You gotta have solid infrastructure. You gotta have solid operations, data. The data needs to be in a good shape for you to be able to even start thinking about these things. So, yeah, you'll find it all in the book, and that's my TLDR.
I think it's a great point that it's not too late. Right now, it's not too late to jump on the train, but I don't know in several months from now, it's like, so I wouldn't sit around too long. I would just jump on the train to do what she's saying, like play around with it a little bit, because I think in like, say, 2 or 3 years from now, you're going to have the AI haves and the have-nots, and the people that didn't invest in learning it, they're going to be still at the train station with the train leaving, I think. So
if anyone is,
yeah, no, yeah.
If anyone is interested in HumorMatch.
Oh, here we got it. Nice.
You can find your perfect match through laughter, okay?
Nice.
And you can start matching. And it's humor-based matching, progressive and blurring, authentic connections. All right, let's start matching.
Nice.
I need to create an account. Really? It wants me to create an account? All right. I have a sarcasm style. I can be dad jokes. I can be sarcasms, puns, dark humor, observational,
dark humor, nice.
physical comedy. Yeah, so I can say,
Nice.
make it for guests. I don't want to sign
Oh,
up.
nice.
But anyway, that's God damn it. You need to sign up. You get the point. Try it
Yeah.
out. It's a super cool tool.
Super cool. All right, cool. That's great. Awesome. And then the last thing is, so say people that have been kind of sitting on the sidelines a little bit, they want to get into AIPM. What advice do you have for people that want to get into AIPM?
It depends on what you want to target. Like, what do you identify with? The first thing we all need to do, whether we're want to change a job or not, is be AI enhanced.
Yeah.
You gotta try out these tools. You gotta adapt generating a PRD using a custom GPT. It's so easy. There's so many YouTube tutorials. That's the minimum, the bare minimum that everyone should do. Now, you gotta create a roadmap for your career. It's very cheesy, but you do. So if you have been in healthcare, okay, become AI enhanced and then tell a story about yourself and be like, you know what? I was in healthcare for a long time. I'm AI enhanced. I can now be an AI experiences PM in healthcare. If you have been doing, platform stuff and APIs and you've been a software engineer, learn your PM craft stuff and pitch yourself as someone that can do this work. Um, I was coaching someone. I was looking at his resume. There was a 3-year gap. He's like, I want to be a PM. What do I need to do? I said, well, what's the 3-year gap? He's like, well, it's not relevant. I'm like, what's that 3-year gap? He said, well, I was, a sculptor. I'm like, okay, and why is it not there? He's like, because it's not relevant. It's gonna tell people that, oh, this person is not dedicated. Da, da, da. I said, please say you're a sculptor and please pitch yourself as an avatar as PM. And he's at Roblox right now, creating the avatars because of this. So bring whatever you have right now with you, enhance some AI, add some PM craft, position yourself. It's like a crab. Yeah, sorry, it's too. Um, so yeah, create your own narrative, create your own craft. And if anyone is interested, please take my bootcamp. It's a wonderful course where we're going to talk about all these things. We have a capstone project. We certify folks, and hopefully, I can help you get there.
Cool. And I think there's an important distinction here, which I realized early on, which is even as a PM, even if your product has nothing to do with AI, the AI enhanced is like, how are you using it to do your job better or faster, right? Even if it's not like you're building it into the product. Right? So it's like, how are you using it? And I think that's what you're advocating, to make sure people at least lean into that. Even if your company's not building any AI features, because you're in a certain vertical that's not there yet or whatever, then you should do it. And then the next level up, I think, is you're not creating the AI stuff from scratch, but you're like, how can we integrate it into the experience to make it better? And then if you're lucky, then you end up being like a builder. So it's kind of like different levels. And then it's like, when there's another graph we have, like NVIDIA is at the foundation, right? It's like NVIDIA's making the chips, and then there's the LLM folks, and it's like, the next layer up, what are you doing? What are you building? So I think it's an important distinction. So, but I think everyone should be doing AI enhanced at least,
Yeah.
to play around with it, right? So, okay, cool. Right. And what can you tell people more about your courses? You offer several, right? Can you tell what are the different things you offer?
Yeah, and maybe I can talk about it from not the hey join this, but more from a hey here's what I did as a PM and why it's super cool. So as I said, I wanted to advocate for just being a PM, and I started this Eventbrite page, and it was so funny. Again, I charged $10 or something, and I made I don't know $200, and it was so like, oh God, I met all these people. I talk about what I love and I made $200. This is such a cool thing. And then people started asking for more. So I said, you know what? I'm going to create like a 2-week thing where I structure things in a better way. And, people started signing up and people started asking for more of this content. So I kind of identified myself as an AI educator. And it was such an interesting transition for me because I was always that PM, big tech type of thing. And I said, hey, you can have a side gig and that side gig can fulfill you. And it was a point where I said, you know what, like I'm too shy. I need to start like talking about these things on LinkedIn and it's awkward. Um, but then people like you come to me and say, hey, I've been following you for a while. This is super cool. So it kind of encouraged me to do this. So now I have 3 offerings. I have a one-on-one course, which is, hey, I know nothing. Let's start from scratch. And then I have an advanced course, which is, hey, I wanna, I know the basics, but I wanna build an AIPM org. Bring me people from the industry to talk to me about this. But then these people wanted more. So I said, okay, well, I'll create a bootcamp that combines one-on-one, advanced, and a capstone project so that you can actually build your own product. pitch it to VCs. And then you get 3 certifications. We actually have one instructor here from my bootcamp. It's Dr. Bashi over there. She's the machine learning scientist that brings that angle in. But yeah, it's been so fulfilling. I identify myself as an AI educator primarily, and then an AI PM. And through this, I've gotten to meet amazing people. By the way, I read Dan's book when I was still learning what PM was all about. So it's such an honor to be here and be hosted by Dan in this meetup. But yeah.
It's an honor to have you here. So it's great. Cool. Okay. Well, with that, why don't we open it up to audience questions? And there's Slidos up there. We got some questions in here. Get people. Sometimes people wait till the end to do it. So get in there. The number one question is, will AI make us dumber? What do you think about AI brain fog? I'm a bit worried about overusing AI. Like overusing it. Using it over my brain is what they said.
I mean, I was signing books with it. And then when it's like, I can't use it anymore, I was like, oh God, what do I write now? So it's a real and I was like, enjoy, smiley face, which was not, but my point is, we still need to be the boss of ourselves. We still need to realize, you know what, this thing can be wrong. We still need to say, you know what, let's not let it take over at all times. So yeah, it can make us dumber. As long as we use that brain that it takes away to meaningful stuff and we don't just make it sleep, I think we'll be okay. But yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, I was talking with a friend. The analogy that I came up with was like spell checker, right? A lot of people don't worry about spelling words because there's spell checker now. So, so someone trying to make the argument is going to make us smarter. I'm like, well, I don't know if there's more people spelling better these days or not, but it just takes something off the table. So, and I think the other thing in what you said is, and this is what came up with that meetup when I spoke, is it will BS you sometimes, right? It's like the world's best BSer. It sounds really good. Because what somebody said to the meetup was like, hey, you better know a lot about whatever domain you're asking it about, or else what it serves up is going to sound good, but you're going to have no idea if it's like, I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
And try it out. Ask something. Even if you know it's right, say, hey, that's not right. It will say, oh, I'm so sorry.
I know. Yeah.
And then if you will change the answer, you say, that's not right. You'll say, oh, I'm so sorry. And it will flip the narrative. So, and that's, thank God that exists, because if it didn't exist, it would be a human that's smarter than us, right? So it's kind of, but
yeah. So it's interesting. All right, cool. So the top question now is, how should noobs/early career PMs start in AI PM?
I have a secret. It's hackathons. There are hackathon. There is a hackathon website called, and I love having the laptop here. So there's a website called devpost.com, the home for hackathons. You see every single day Agentforce, like Meta Horizon World. These are free to join. There's a little matchmaker that tells you, hey, are you a PM looking for engineers? Are you an engineer looking for PMs? It's free. Within 8 hours, you have a prototype. You may win some money, awesome. But if not, you're going to create a portfolio of things to show for. And you demonstrate you're hustling, like, hey, look, I went out of my way to do this. And you meet people through it. So that's an awesome strategy. And get bootcamps and get certified as well.
I think that's great. I think that's awesome, because even, again, before AI, I would help my clients try to recruit PMs. And I'd be interviewing for a web PM, and they'd be like, where's your website? They're like, what? I'm like, you want to be a web PM, right? Yes. I'm like, where's your website? And they didn't have a website. So the same thing here. You want to be AI PM, where's your portfolio? Like, what have you done? Like, it's, and the interesting thing is, to contrast, there was a woman, she was interviewing for senior PM, and she had a website, and she had examples of PRDs and examples of wireframe. Now, they were redacted. She took out the sensitive information. That's fine, but I could see the way she thought, and I could see some case studies. So you got to kind of, and I think that DevPost is a great way to help build that portfolio, but you got to have something to talk about, not just, I'm really excited to get an AI. It's so easy with these tools to just go in and play with them. So yeah. All right, cool. Okay. Next question. What do you think about the agent user personas? Agents have different needs than humans in the human AI assistant apps context. What to expect?
I didn't understand the question.
I think they're trying to say, like, do we now need to design for agents as personas, is what they're trying to say. And I know someone else has a startup. It's like, they're trying to build stuff to manage agents. You know what I mean? Like treat agents like autonomous or employees or something. You know, that kind of a thing. Like,
Controversial opinion. Agents have existed for a while. It's what I call like automated workflows, which is not as cool. But if you try things like Zapier, and you go on Zapier and you create, hey, here's what I want to do, connect with Claude and ask this question, then create a little spreadsheet for me and then post that on LinkedIn. That workflow is an agent technically. So I would think in terms of what workflow I want to have automated so that I don't have to program it again in the future versus that whole persona. There are companies now that are creating personas where you can talk to someone and see them. That works for specific use cases
Yeah.
like healthcare and
Yeah,
diagnostics. But I think that workflow and automation, there's something to it there.
yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. And there's like character AI, and it's interesting to see what kind of use case they end up with there. On that note, why don't we go? So we're seeing big advances in robotics too, like humanoid robotics. So any crossover with that with AI that you want to share?
Yes, I have. And by the way, like this going to take 10 seconds. I was just looking
Sure.
at all the applications. We're bringing that
Oh
with
yeah, yeah,
form factors. Okay. So there's things like the AI pin. By the way, this did not work out. It's HP bought it for scraps. But it's interesting to see what PMs are creating with AI, right? So this, you would put it on, it's a clip and it would project the information, which is so cool. That thing is interesting. It's a necklace that is your Otter.ai type of thing. Who is from Otter? There was someone from Otter.
Richard.
Yes,
Right there.
Richard. Okay. So this is like a competitor to Otter that's kind of hardware. You wear it in meetings and then you don't need the laptop to take notes. And then by the time you're back on your desk, it has summarized everything, created the action items, which is so interesting, right? Of course, Meta glasses, we love them. Use cases, oh my goodness. Like imagine me looking at this wall and then saying, you know what, how should I decorate this? And this immediately just giving me ideas there. Like, I mean, they don't have the display yet, but it's announced, right? Um, that's the original Google Glass, which was awesome. There's so much I have to say about this. I was in this team. I'll proceed. Kid stuff. Grok. They contained it only to be kid friendly. So it would generate stories. And it has an LLM. My daughter has a similar thing. And I walked on the room one day and she was like, close her eyes doing this. I said, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I said, let's chill. And there's a meditation routine that the bear kind of, I'm like, what? What? Her Furby. Yes, she has a Furby with speech recognition. So there's just such cool things going on. And of course, if you take it one step further, you go into this whole robotics
Yeah.
world. Check this
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
By the way, this is no longer science fiction.
I
You
know.
can buy a Tesla one for 30K. Look at this. They
Yeah.
fold clothes, they can watch kids, they do all these things. I don't know if I would let it watch my kids, but it's, it's maybe I would. But the future is there, you know what I mean? So
Did you see the one with like the 200 muscles? Like that one's like Westworld. Like it's crazy. All right, cool. Okay. All right. Next up, let's see. Here we go. Satya Nadella says SAS as we know it is dead. What's your take?
by the way, I'm a consumer PM, so I don't
Hmm.
however, there are services that provide pre-trained APIs that I vouch for, and I see a lot of people kind of going towards that versus traditional SaaS companies. But yeah, I don't have enough knowledge around SaaS to say, but I do think this kind of pre-trained and enterprise world is gonna rise up soon.
The way I would think about it is like a Venn diagram, SaaS only, and then like SaaS plus AI. Like if you're not converting, if you're not figuring out how to be transformed with AI, then you're going to probably get left behind. But I could see a lot of SaaS companies getting transformed with the AI. So, okay, next one is prompt engineering still as important of a skill as how it was built up to be initially? Like 6 months ago. Do I have to do my homework? Sorry.
Controversial opinion. I wouldn't invest in it as much. And a lot of people will tell me, wait, that's because in a lot of these interfaces and all these demos, and I can show you, they're adding this intermediate
Yeah.
step where you write your prompt and it's enhancing it on its own.
Mhm.
So you don't really need to craft the perfect prompt type of thing. And I think it's an awesome thing to do for kids, learning how to think and how to tell a story. But I don't think that's where it's at. So
I agree with you.
controversial.
No, I think it's basically like because it was a year ago when I gave that talk, and I basically I tried to use ChatGPT at the time, 3.5 and 4, and I compared them to see if it could help me do discovery to design a better product than Jira, like something to beat Jira. And I picked Jira on purpose because PMs would know Jira, right? And it didn't do that great a job. And someone in the audience was like, "Well, that's because your prompt. You need to use this 2,000 word prompt that I've got that I put in, the like the default setting thing." And so I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, so I think I agree. Like over time, the need for all that detail is gone. They're making like that was like a power user thing you'd have to do before. It's like command line versus graphical GUI now. I think now we're getting to the point where it's just GUI. But I do think you need to be mindful. This is the PM skills of your requirements and what you're asking it, right? Like you just did your Funko Pop. I did like a Star Wars action. Everyone's doing the action figure thing, right? And in playing with that little thing too, just you realize like, oh, what you tell it, you got to be mindful. It's kind of like good requirements or good user stories. That part I think is key. Less so the arcane prompt engineering and all this jazz stuff, but
And I will say, we're talking about AI PMs and careers and all that stuff. With AI, there's an opportunity for, again, controversial, like a quick win.
yeah.
Someone built a website where you would pay, it was like a creator economy for prompts. So you would pay $1 to get an
Right.
amazing
Yeah.
prompt. These people became millionaires. Now it doesn't really matter. But, there's so much if you dig deeper.
That's right. For a few months, it was like, type prompt in the comments in LinkedIn, and I'll send you my 1,000-page cheat sheet of all my power prompts for PMs. Right? It's like, all right, all right. Let's see what we got here. What else we got? What risks do you anticipate with the increasing prevalence of AI applications?
That people are not doing it to solve a problem. The shiny object trap, and my UXR bro over there, I'm sure will agree, but don't build with AI just for the sake of building with AI because you're going to end up losing the money, the resources, the cost. So, risk number one, doing it because it's cool. Please don't.
And I think that's the thing with like Vzero and all these tools, you can build whatever app you want right now. So for me, it just raises the bar on, okay, well, then you better make sure you've got something that's going to deliver customer value and achieve product market fit because you can build anything. Not, anybody can build anything now with these tools, right? So it's like there's going to be a lot more junk put out unless we're thinking about the stuff. So, all right. Okay, what do we got? Let's see here. What would you approach and first steps be if a client said, I want AI in my product? They want this cool feature, but there's no real use case. I think that's what you were just talking about, but yeah.
I interviewed for a director of AI PM role at Spotify and at the same time at Apple. And in both places, it was someone interviewing me that did not know about AI.
Oh, wow.
And it's I advocate to have the strategy, like a framework for strategy. So the first thing you need to think about is, okay, what's the portfolio of apps they have? What are AI superpowers? How can we enhance these apps by leveraging AI? And then at the end of the day, what's the mission of the company? And am I aligning with the mission? Am I, am I targeting the right metrics? Am I, having the strategy head to the right direction? So that's how I would approach it in a serious way. But yeah, a lot of people don't know and they rely on you to bring this, to have the right answer.
Okay, and then I'll do one more. Is that what do you think the role of designers is in creating AI agents? Maybe we can just expand it to just an AI, I guess. Yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, design may be dead because we can generate all these things. But I think, again, controversial, design is more important than ever because we're all power users. We're in the Bay Area. We talked about it. But the people that are not here have no idea how to interact with the systems. They see a box and it's like, wait, what do I type here? So you really need to have this human computer interaction in a way that the user will understand how to speak with AI, but the user will understand what risks there are, like the probabilistic nature. How on earth do you communicate that? And you see all these different ways for agents, like Grammarly has a thing where you type and then there is a little widget that if you hover over it, it's like, hey, I'm here. Do you want me to improve this? Copilot has a thing on the side, like a Slack channel. All these tools are there. So UI is just more important than ever.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. I think people worried about it taking jobs, whether you're a developer, PM, or designer. But I think if you're like a rockstar 10x, top performer, I think that super IC thing is going to be very interesting, and your skills are going to be amplified. You're going to be able to get more done. So, okay, why don't we wrap it up there, and then we'll wrap up, and we can. I have a couple more slides, and then we'll open it up, and everybody can hang out and ask questions.
And maybe we can take a photo with everyone somehow.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
sounds good. Yeah.
Can everyone like hold their book? I can try to take a
Yeah,
video
that'd be
and see what
great.
that looks like. My creator footage right there.
Okay.
All right. All right. Yay, thank you.
All right, take two.